Maybe I should start with you, Mr. Dubai. The People's Democratic Party is accusing the Edo State government, of mismanaging a tune of 4.2 billion naira of taxpayers' money, largely, according to the PDP, was used to purchase luxury SUVs for commissioners. It's even alleged that the value of some of these vehicles run to about 150 million naira. And described, this expenditure as wasteful and insensitive to the people of Edo State. There are quite a number of issues, but let me start with that. Mr. Dubai, you are the special advisor to the former governor of the state, and you are also a member of the People's Democratic Party. These allegations are strong. Can you please break it down? What are the evidence?
The vehicles that are being bought are not being kept inside the houses now. They have been driven around. They have been showcased in government house. When Okpebholo came into office, he first of all bought about 30 Prado Jeeps, and he gifted a few of them to party leaders and party chieftains. He added another 30 Hilos vehicles that could serve as escorts to government officials. And shortly after that, he bought another 60 Hilos vehicles that he was distributed to security agencies in an attempt to cover security in the state. Where persons like me were of the opinion that what needed to be done was to reposition and rejig the state vigilante, the state policing system that Obaseki had utilized to ensure that crime and criminality is nipped at the bud. He practically disbanded the leadership and bought Hilos vehicles and gifted it to security officers. It was just about 6 months after I did that, about a couple of weeks ago, some days ago, I discovered that initiative had no meaningful. When he bought the vehicle, security cases in Edo State even increased. There were more killing, more kidnapping, more hinders and farmer clashes. It was just recently went to buy a motorcycle Okada to about he said over 300 Okada. And then when you say over 300, I begin to wonder, is it that Okpebholo cannot count the vehicles, the Okada he bought that we are seeing in pictures, or is it everybody in government cannot count 1, 2, 3 again? Over 300 is not a number. They should let us know exactly how many Okada was being bought. But that's what you get when all of these actions of government is being covered by crime and criminality. Obviously, some of the Okadas already found their ways to the house of party chieftains and party leaders. And then one of the vehicle that was being bought, Okada that was bought the Chinese vehicles. Okpebholo on associate office inherited a 570 Lexus from a Gordon Obaseki. He didn't use that vehicle. He gifted it
because that's where I'm going. Please hold on. Please hold on. Hold on, Mr. Shedrack. Mr. Shedrack.
He bought another vehicle.
Mr. Shedrack, please hold on. I know that you've said quite a number of things, but I just want to get something clear. You are part of the former government. There were official vehicles too that your administration used. Was it properly? Did you hand it over? Did the former administration hand those vehicles that it used over, to the government, to this new administration? Was there a handover?
I just told you that Gordon Obaseki as governor was using a Lexus 570 Jeep as the official vehicle. He handed that vehicle over to Okpebholo and a host of other vehicles. But what we saw was that Okpebholo dropped that vehicle. He first of all went to buy a Lexus 600 LX. That one costing almost 500 million. He didn't use that vehicle for up to 3 months. He dropped it and bought another Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. And that G-Wagon cost about $1.2 million, roughly about 2 billion naira. And after that, he went on to begin, he bought 100 vehicles for Edo land. Where Edo land to a large extent is not the priority. A local transportation is not the priority of Edo people. All these vehicles we see being bought is because the government is interested in siphonning state resources.
Okay, Shedrack, you've made some valid, you've made some points. You've made some points here. You've made some points. Thank you very much. You've made some points. Thank you very much. I just wanted to confirm, for the benefit of the viewers watching, that there was an handover of the previously used vehicles by your government, at least when you were in government, to the new government. So let me bring in Barrister Mwata into this conversation. You are the special advisor to the current governor of Edo State on legal matters. We know that the Edo State government has responded to this, calling this mere propaganda and falsehood. But I'd like to hear from you directly on behalf of the government.
Yeah, thank you, Dakbo. I don't think it's responsible for any past government official, like a parrot with open mouth, to make very, false statements. First, to correct the impression that Obaseki handed over vehicles. The truth is, there was a vehicle recovery committee that recovered vehicles from officials of government. The former secretary to government, over 7 vehicles were recovered. The former chief of staff, over 8 vehicles. Even some of these persons had sold some of these vehicles that were recovered. And it's quite unfortunate to hear Shedrack open his wide mouth to talk about a vehicle that Obaseki handed over. The convoy of Obaseki had close to 20 vehicles. The only vehicle was a flat vehicle that was recovered, and that vehicle was not in a good shape. The only vehicle that he bought before leaving was the one in the liaison office, which was a decoy for those other vehicles he took away. They had over 10 vehicles, SUVs, that Obaseki took away. It's just that Obaseki, as we speak, is abroad as a fugitive from justice. Himself, his wife, they refused to come to Nigeria to account for how they plundered Edo State patrimony. Unfortunately, this one government that left a debt profile of over $500 billion naira, just wrote contracts alone over 100 billion. So for us, we will not engage them.
All right. So just quickly, before you move on, sir. Before you move on, just to get this out of the way. So you had to set up a committee. You had to set up a committee to recover the vehicles.
It's because as an opposition, they don't have anything to talk about. They lack content.
You said you had to set up a committee to recover the vehicles. It wasn't like it was, willfully handed over. You had to set up a committee to recover the vehicles from the previous administration. Is that what you're saying, sir?
Exactly. Just as I mentioned, these vehicles were stolen. Most of these vehicles were sold. So the government had to set up a committee, headed by Kelly Okumbawa, to recover these vehicles. I just told the former chief of staff, Osagbo Oya, went away with over 8 vehicles, and these vehicles were recovered. So that this present administration, if most of these vehicles they took were returned, I don't think this government would have bought new vehicles. As I speak to you, I'm a special advisor on legal matters. I'm here to be given an official vehicle.